Good morning, beauties. Welcome back to the Trishadalynn channel. Thank you for joining me today. I figured today we'll switch it up and we'll do a chit chat, get ready with me / story time about the time that I accidentally stayed at Stay on Main, aka the Cecil Hotel, that there's a huge documentary on Netflix on. So let's get into it. For the record. Starting off my makeup, my skin is so dry here in the Midwest. I'm going to be using my Oleo Hendrix Banana Bright. I'm sure anyone who knows me knows that, hey, this is my jam. This is what I use. I love it. It works, especially since I have dark under eye circles. I have an online training session today for virtual selling for my job. So we're going to be doing like a full makeup look today. So let's get into the title, but first some background information about why I decided to make this video or how this even came about. I would say like a week or so ago, we were all studying at work and one of the girls was talking about this new Netflix documentary, because a lot of us at work like watching documentaries and like spooky stuff, and we had just talked a little while ago about like us going to the Whaley House. I'm from San Diego, so we have like one of the most haunted houses in America, and I will say that when I visited, like, it was spooky. Like, I got a picture of a full body apparition like when we visited. Well, anyways, one of the girls was saying like, hey, have you watched the new documentary on Netflix about the Cecil Hotel? And I was like, no. I was like, I'll have to check it out, because me and my sister Melissa, we love watching spooky, scary, like crime stuff together. I'm taking my Tarte Shape Tape and we're just gonna do a little bit of this today. I have not done full makeup in so long, like I do not even know how long it's been, but it has been a while. But today we're actually going to be doing full on makeup. So our coworker was telling us about it. My sister actually works at my job now, so we work at the same place. But she was telling us about the Cecil Hotel documentary, so we're like, okay, yeah, we'll check it out and watch it. So we watched the Netflix documentary, and a little bit of backstory if you haven't watched it. It's this hotel where like 18 people were murdered in downtown LA. The Night Stalker stayed there. There's like evidence that the Black Dahlia was spotted there like 3 days before she was killed, like just all of this crazy stuff. So we started watching this documentary and I was like, Stay on Main. So after this Elisa lady was found in the water tank of this hotel, they rebranded the hotel and they renamed it Stay on Main. I was like, that sounds so familiar to me. I was like, I feel like I have stayed there before. And I was like, no, it can't be. Like, there's no way that I stayed there before. So we watched the documentary and I was like, I don't think I stayed there. I was like, there's no way. I was like, I think like this is just like, kind of playing tricks on me, and there is no way that I stayed there. So a couple of days go by, and then I think it's called Ghost Adventures comes out with this whole thing on the Cecil Hotel, and they basically like stay overnight. They grant them like access to like go and check this place out and all of the spooky happenings or whatever. So Melissa's like, I started to watch it the other night. She's like, but it was like actually really freaky. She's like, and I decided that I was going to wait on you to watch it with me. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, let's watch it together and let's see what's going on, what it's about. So as I'm watching the movie or the show on Ghost Nation, I'm like, oh my God, Melissa. I was like, I stayed at this hotel. Like, I absolutely know that I've stayed at this hotel for one of my birthdays. And she was like, no way. I was like, no, seriously. So I start like going back to find these pictures. And I remember this trip because how this all came about of us actually staying there is we had booked a hotel for the weekend, and I think we were only going to go up and stay like, I wanted to say Friday or Saturday and then come back on Sunday. But I had ended up getting like the extra day off, or I think I was like already on vacation, like maybe that's why I was able to go like early or something. But we had decided to go up a day early, and little did I know that one of our friends who was in San Francisco decided to like take a bus down and meet us down there. And it was, you know, it was an awesome trip. We went to Santa Monica, and we rollerbladed like from Santa Monica down to Venice Beach and back up. We went to like the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We went to like LACMA and did like a mini photo shoot. We went out that night and we actually got to see Prince. He did one of his famous like little pop-up shows. Like, it was an amazing trip. Totally worth it. But anyway, so we were going up. I had booked our hotel for the weekend, and it was like a really nice hotel. Gorgeous, beautiful, super excited. Well, when we decided to go up the extra day, I was like, oh, we need to like book a hotel for an extra night. I was like, I'll just, you know, get something, you know, that's like cost efficient, because, you know, obviously I wanted to like save all my coin like for the actual trip. At this time I was like in probably my early 20s, so, you know, like I really wanted to like go all out and just have like tons and tons and tons of fun on the trip. So I was like researching hotels to book for this extra night. I didn't know that Tiffany was coming with us. So I was like, we just need, you know, something like, you know, efficient. So I got on my work website, because with my job we got discounts like on hotels and theme parks and different stuff. So I was like, you know what? I was like, that would be good. I was like, we'll be able to find like something nice and cost efficient. So I got on the website and I was looking, and Stay at Main Hotel popped up, and I was like, wow. I was like, this hotel looks beautiful in these pictures. I was like, look at this lobby. I was like, it's like old Hollywood, kind of like glam style. I was like, this will be, you know, kind of like perfect for the trip, you know, that we're planning and that we want to go on. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna book it, right? Let's do it. At this time, I had only visited LA one other time, and that one other time we ended up not staying the night. We ended up actually just driving back to San Diego the same night. So I didn't really know the setup of like downtown Los Angeles, or like where was a good place to stay at like when you visit LA. So I was going into the situation blind, and more so just thinking about, you know, hey, let's get a good deal. I know that we have an awesome hotel for the next 2 days. I was like, we're just staying an extra day, just me and my friend. So, you know, it's not a big deal. So we end up heading to LA from San Diego, and we get there. My friend is like, hey, we got to make a pit stop at the train station. And I was like, why? And she was like, oh, we just have to pick something up. So I went, and then of course my other friend like surprised me, and it was like really awesome and cool. And I was like, oh, now I get it. Which is why I was excited, you know, that we had gotten, you know, like the 2 beds for the hotel for that night. I'm going to start my eyeshadow today. I'm going to be using the Black Widow palette. So I got this from the Ulta website. It's got 12 pieces of shadows in it, and it's so pretty. I have been loving this palette lately, and I'm just going to do like a nice like neutral look today for y'all. We're going to start off with this shade called Fighter. So we picked my friend up, right? And we're like, okay, let's head to the hotel so we can like drop off like our bags and figure out like what we're going to do tonight. So I had been talking to one of my old friends from college who was in a gospel choir. If you guys didn't know, I went to Missouri State University. Shout out GC fam. And we, he kind of like lived in LA, so he knew like what all, you know, was happening and like all of the cool kind of like places to go. So we had planned that night, first night in town, we're like, let's just like go out to a club, right? Show, and, you know, have a nice fun chill night. Next up, I'm going to take this color called Power. It's like this really pretty burgundy color here. This crease area on my eyeshadow on the outer side here. So we go to the hotel and we pulled up and I was like, wow, I was like, this neighborhood is like not that nice, right? I mean, downtown LA in general, if you've ever been there, is like kind of not that nice, unless like you're closer to like the Staples Center, where the Lakers play at. So we go in and the lobby looks exactly like the pictures, right, on the advertising. Like it's grand, it's old Hollywood, it's, you know, basically like just gorgeous and beautiful. I'm just buffing this out on the side. I'll get a little bit closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, this color combination is so pretty. So we check into our hotel and we go towards the elevators. So if you've watched the documentary, you know, like the elevators act weird at this hotel. So when we got there, like the hotel, like the elevators always wanted to go to the 7th floor, right? And they would like get stuck. So they're like, oh, we're just having issues with our elevators today, right? So, you know, we didn't really think like anything of it. It just, you know, for the whole hotel, there was only like one set of elevators. So that kind of sucked. I just used this. This is the Studio Makeup Endurance Cream Shadows. It looks like this. You can see it. And that was shade Gold. They're keeping it simple. I like that. So it only had like one elevator working. It kept getting stuck on the 7th floor and we're like, okay, this is like annoying. They're like, well, we're like, well, should we take the stairs? And we decided to just wait for the elevator. Eventually, like it came down, you know. I mean, honestly, we just kind of thought that maybe they were like, the elevators were like busy, but people were saying like, no, like the elevators were getting stuck on the 7th floor. So we're like, okay, whatever. So, we go up and we like get off of the elevator. First of all, I always judge a building by the inside of their elevator, because if the inside of the elevator is cute and poppin', then it's probably going to be like a nice place to stay. If the inside of the elevator looks yucky and grungy, then it's probably like not what's up, right? So we get into the elevator. We're experiencing the same thing with the elevator, like going to the 7th floor. I think we were staying either like on the 4th or 5th floor. This has been a long time, so like parts of this I remember, like some of it like I don't, because obviously we had a good time that night. So we get off of the elevator and we look down the hall and I'm just like, this is the worst place that I have probably like ever stayed in my entire life. So I'm embarrassed at this point because I booked the hotel, you know, just trying to be cost efficient. You know, I figured, you know, it's got to be like a good deal. It had, you know, fairly decent ratings on the website. I don't even know. I might have not looked at the ratings, honestly, because like I was in my 20s and, you know, I don't know, like Yelp and all of that stuff was like not as big of a thing as it is back then as it is like now. So we like go down this creepy hallway, right? And we find a room and like we walk in and it is like this tiny little shoebox of a room, like the tiniest room I have ever stayed in my entire life. And there's 3 of us, right? Well, I booked it. I figured it would be 2 queen size beds, because normally when you book in a hotel and there's 2 beds, they're always queen size. No, they were twin size beds, like twin size beds, 3 girls, and we're looking around and I'm like, where is the bathroom? Like, where's the bathroom at? So it's not in the room. Like, the bathroom's not in the room. At this point, like, I'm in full, like, panic mode, right? So we go to, like, try to figure out where the bathroom is, and it is all the way down this creepy ass hall at the very, very, very end. I'm like, oh my God, this is a hostel. Like, it's a hostel. Like, it's a shared community bathroom on the floor. So we were like, oh my God, we have to share this bathroom with, like, everybody who's on the floor. So I'm, like, freaking out, and obviously my anxiety is growing. My friends can tell I'm, like, you know, a little bit low-key, like, upset, right? And they're trying to, like, be, I mean, to their credit, they were the best sports about this situation. They were just like, you know what, well, this will be a really great story one day that we look back on and jokingly, like, and say, like, oh my God, remember that time that we stayed in that hostel in LA? So, you know, we were like, okay, we cannot, like, stay here and just, like, kick it. Like, we gotta get ready, we gotta go out. Like, at this time, it's, like, getting, like, kind of, like, later. They're like, you know, let's go find, like, a place to, like, go to dinner and, you know, head out or whatever. So we get ready in this room. I remember this room so distinctly because it had one of those hand chairs that you sit in. And I think at this time we had done, like, a little bit of pre-gaming, and there are definitely more photos of us staying there and having pictures in that hand chair, but obviously I didn't post them at that time because they were kind of, like, inappropriate because we were, you know, turning up or whatever. And I'm pretty sure they're on, like, a cell phone that I have somewhere that's probably packed up in San Diego currently right now. So we get ready to go out, right? We just leave the hotel and we go to do, you know, whatever we're gonna do. So I think we went to dinner. I don't even remember where we ate that night, but we went to dinner. And then after dinner, we headed out to this club where my friend from gospel choir had said that, like, one of Prince's, like, artists was performing at. So we were like, okay, cool, we'll go, like, check it out. So we got all dressed up and went. It was really, really fun. And then, like, we watched the show. It was good. We had a good time. And then, like, around 4 o'clock in the morning, like, you just feel, like, the atmosphere in the room change, right? And there's, like, this amazing, like, organ music, and just the whole vibe changes, and then everyone starts, like, losing their mind. And I mean literally, like, losing their minds. And this is, like, a tiny little club. Like, max capacity maybe would have been, like, 150 people. Like, it was small. Like, it was, like, in one of those industrial places. So, like, if you didn't know where it was happening at, you never would have known that it was happening. So we go in there, and the atmosphere is changing. We're like, what is going on? And then someone's like, oh my God, it's Prince. So Prince, like, gets up on stage and starts, like, playing the organ. Of course, I don't have any pictures of it because his bodyguards, like, every time you try to take a picture, they would, like, shine lights, like, right at you so the pictures wouldn't come out, which was annoying. You know, we go to the concert. It was awesome. Had a really, really, really great time. So then we were like, I mean, at this point, like, we didn't get back to the hotel until, like, super late. So honestly, like, I don't even know if we really, like, slept in that hotel that much. Come in. You are so handsome! Ah!
I told him he had a wants to stay.
Okay.
I said, do you want to stay? He's like, I said, TT's in her room. He's like, oh, I'm going to go give her hugs. I said, you need a knock first.
You come say hi, TT. You want to say hi to YouTubes? No? You don't want to say hi to them?
No.
Why?
I'm good.
Because why?
God.
Okay. You don't have to then. Sorry, my nephew wanted to say hi to me really quick. So I don't even know what time we got back downtown, but it was back to the hotel, but it was, like, super late. And I remember this very distinctly, that I was just like, I just want a California burrito. And by this time we were like tired and drunk, obviously. So we went to this taco shop that was right by the hotel. Like, that was like right to the side of it. And it was okay. Like, I'm a little biased, but I think that the best burritos are in San Diego. So, it wasn't that great of a burrito. Not that it's relevant to this story, but anyway, so we come back to the hotel. We maybe like took like a quick, like kind of nap. I do remember like before we went out and getting ready, like we obviously like showered before like we went out to get ready, and we had to like go down that long hallway. And so the thing about this community bathroom is like you had to share like the shower that was there too. So I remember distinctly that I wore flip-flops of some kind to like shower, because obviously, you know, we were gonna shower. I just remember thinking, like, being in there, I was like, oh my god, I was like, I feel like at any second, like, a serial killer is gonna like pop out and like get me. Totally not knowing that at one point in time, like, that hotel was like low-key kind of filled with serial killers. It was just, I don't know, it was just a really weird experience. And at the time we thought like, hey, this is just going to be like a really fun, funny story that like we can tell our friends one day. So the next morning, like, we go down to breakfast. I remember distinctly like the breakfast was like in this really like glamorous old school Hollywood type lobby. And if you've ever seen American Horror Story, the season where they do the episode in the hotel, so the Cecil Hotel is based off of that season, right? And I mean, the entrance to the lobby is beautiful, which is why we ended up, you know, staying there in the first place, because the pictures, you know, looked really, really good on the website. I think even at the time when I booked it, I sent it to my friend and they were like, yeah, it looks good, cool. Like, no worries, no problems, right? So we had breakfast. I remember the breakfast was bomb. There was waffles. The orange juice was really good. And then we packed up and we left and we went to our second hotel. So pretty much like we did not spend a lot of time in that hotel. So I don't like have this awesome ghost story to tell or anything like that. But I will say the amount that I was freaked out and shocked when I found out that we had actually stayed in that hotel was just, it was up there. Because like as my wheels are spinning and I'm like seeing like all of the images from this hotel, I'm like, oh my god, like I have to call, I have to talk, I have to message my friends, like, to make sure that I'm not crazy. Like, I think we legit stayed at this hotel. So of course, you know, they were like looking at the pictures and they were like, I don't know if that was it or not. But then I Googled the stay on Main and like kind of the background images that come with it. And I sent it to them and they were like, oh my god, we totally actually stayed there. That's our story. I do remember when we came home, like after we got like the taco shop from the place that was next door to us, I remember we had to wait forever for the elevators to come down because it kept getting stuck on that 7th floor, which is like a very common story that everybody tells about how like the elevators are, you know, janky and that, you know, they get stuck on that floor. Yeah, that was pretty much our story about staying at the Stay on Main, aka the Cecil Hotel, that was renamed, and kind of how we figured out that that was exactly where we stayed at. So I didn't want to like clickbait this video and make it seem like we had this super like spooky, scary experience there, because that was not our experience. Had we known that that was the hotel that we were staying at, like, I mean, would we have probably went and tried to like do a ghost hunt? Knowing our dumbasses, probably yes. We probably would have totally done it and tried to go see if we could capture like some paranormal like activity, you know. Like the hotel obviously was like, at that point in time, this was almost exactly a year after the situation with that girl happened that disappeared and they ended up like finding in the water tank. So they were obviously like not trying to promote that that was the situation with the hotel. They were trying to reopen for business and get people to stay there again. So it was very, you know, hush hush that is, you know, what had happened in the hotel. I do feel like I overheard people saying that the hotel was like haunted, but I don't know. To me, I just feel like every time you go to like an old like hotel that looks like kind of like creepy like that, like everybody, you know, tries to say that it's like haunted or whatever. So I don't really think it was, you know, I guess that just didn't register with us at the time. More than anything, I think that we were just shook at the fact that we had to like stay in a hotel where we had to like share a bathroom with everyone like on the floor, which is wild. So, you know, we don't have any outrageous experiences. I will say that we definitely experienced the elevators like getting stuck on those floors that they say that they get stuck on. That actually happened. We did experience that a couple of times, and we definitely had to like wait for the elevator. But other than that, it was just, you know, a pretty normal hotel experience. I was just kind of like blown away because you always hear people who are super like into ghost stories, and they're like, oh my god, I want to like go stay at that hotel. So the fact that we had actually stayed there and didn't know it was just, it was wild to me. Wild. So that's our story. I just wanted to share it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this chit chat. Get ready with me. I have to change and get ready for this online training course that I have to do today. And I hope you guys like this makeup look. I will detail below all the products that I used today to achieve this look. And thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. And honestly, it's by the grace of God that nothing crazy happened to us when we stayed there. I'm pretty sure now that the hotel is shut down, like you can't even go to stay there if you really wanted to, if you're someone who's like into that, going and staying at like super haunted places. But we yeah, we accidentally stayed there. So that's my video. If you guys want to hear about my experience at the Whaley house, let me know. If you're into, I don't know, ghost stories and makeup, I guess. Comment below. Let me know. If you've actually stayed somewhere haunted accidentally, comment below. Let me know where it was at. Let me know your experiences. Like, I'm super curious if this has ever happened to anybody else, that they stayed someplace that was like super haunted and they did not know that they were staying somewhere that was, you know, allegedly creepy and haunted. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys later. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.